One of the more interesting things to speculate about when it comes to the full release of Baldur's Gate 3 is what the maximum level will be for the player character and party members. Although Larian had initially given some hints as to what their original intended level limit was, subsequent communications suggested that they would need to recalibrate this original level, and I think it could be fun speculation based on both actual pen and paper experience as well as D&D based video games to have a whack at what potential character level limit they're aiming at. When it comes to pen and paper, most campaigns, especially these days, never reach the theoretical level limit of 20, but rather somewhere between the levels 12 and 15. And even more campaigns don't go beyond level 10. And there's some good reasons for that. Part of this comes down to time commitment, obviously, but the bigger issue is a lack of high-level content available, and designing high-level campaigns that challenge players' skills and abilities becomes even more challenging, and this is particularly true of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, in part because the material for higher levels just isn't there yet, and also because 5th edition was meant to be accessible to people that previously hadn't shown much interest in D&D. But given that BG3 is being designed along the principles of 5th edition, and Wizards of the Coast has been closely working with Larian, which is probably why Larian originally suggested that they were striving for level 10 in terms of endgame, this apparently has changed, and because of this we don't know as yet where Baldur's Gate 3 is heading. If you use mods, you can already reach level 7 in early access in terms of total experience gathered, but this is likely to change. In fact, I have a hunch, or better put a gut feeling, that leveling will be a fair bit slower when it comes to full release. But all this begs the question as to what the actual sweet spot is when it comes to leveling. It's impossible to really know, but there are some basic parameters. For low-level adventurers, the first real sweet spot, maybe even in some sense the last sweet spot, is level 5, because warrior classes get an amazing extra attack return, and classes such as wizards gain access to level 3 spells, the most iconic of which, of course, is the Fireball. But level 3 spells in general are just amazing. Animate Dead, because who doesn't like using walking corpses as minions? Fly in the context of Baldur's Gate 3, because the movement potential and how Larian designs their games, and Haste, of course, is self-explanatory. Cleric's turn undead ability can potentially destroy undead outright, and rogues get uncanny dodge. In short, level 5 represents the first real turning point for classes as they transition from relatively weak to a force to be reckoned with, which for most gamers and adventurers is an important milestone, but we're essentially guaranteed to hit level 5 regardless, and go beyond that. So what could be a reasonable final level? I'm really not sure. As I said, I'm speculating. But if I had to guess, I would say level 12 might be the final level for full release of Baldur's Gate 3. I would be absolutely mind-blown if it were level 20, simply because most pen and paper campaigns these days never get that far, and I doubt there'd be enough content for it in the game. Level 12 represents a great deal of power, without it being completely over the top, and I could also imagine just enough content to allow for it. In the older Baldur's Gate series, the content was ultimately aimed at either you giving up your potential for godhood, or accepting it, and ascending, which means it was aimed for the highest levels possible. But in Baldur's Gate 3, your main task, as far as we can discern, is to survive and eject the tadpole from your head, and perhaps stop the mysterious complot hatched by the Dead Three. There's also the fact that at level 12 you have access to some genuinely powerful spells, such as True Seeing, Contingency, Mass Suggestion, a personal favorite of mine, and Heal. Clerics will have access to at least 3 divine domain features, and fighters will have gotten an extra attack by then, and all the classes will be decked out in abilities. Now obviously this, as I've said several times, is just my speculation, but I'm as interested in your speculation about potential level limits as I am mine. Where would you personally like to go in terms of levels? Do you want to go all the way to level 12, or would you be satisfied with significantly fewer levels? Let me know in the comment section. As always, thank you for tuning in. Please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, as it really helps out the channel, and I'll check you out next time. Take care.